Why is now the time to write a book about modern conservatism?
Well, I think it's under threat. Conservatism is under threat.
As things are now, it's likely the president will be impeached in the House,
Right.
but assuming this occurs, do you think your former colleagues in the Senate, namely the majority leader, will allow a fair trial to occur?
I think that there will be some kind of trial. Mitch McConnell has already indicated that he has no choice in the matter. The Constitution dictates that. I don't think the president will be removed from office. And I've said that impeachment, the Constitution outlines it as a remedy. You hope you don't have to wield that. It would tear apart a country that's already torn apart. But it may be that that's the only choice that the Senate has. And I think you're right. I think the House will move forward with impeachment, but the Senate it'll be hard to convict the president.
The White House has currently refused to cooperate with the impeachment inquiry. Given this, do you believe that the current Congress is well enough equipped to exercise appropriate oversight?
I hope the Congress will push this. The president needs to understand there's a separation of powers, and you may not like subpoena power that the Congress has, but you have to comply. And in the past, we've seen when other presidents have been impeached, they didn't want to comply with some of the requests for documents, the subpoena power that the Congress has, but ultimately they did. And if the president doesn't comply, then that is a form of abuse of power, simply obstructing justice that way. So in the end, I think he'll be compelled to comply.
If the president were to be impeached, but as you said, not removed from office, what do you think the implications for the nation would be of re-electing an impeached president?
Well, that's a good question. The conventional wisdom is that it may embolden the president. If he's not removed from office, then he may claim vindication. And the president is, let's face it, he's pretty good at shifting the blame this way. And so it may inure to his benefit. That said, I don't think he wants to be impeached. Maybe in the past he did, but if you've seen his actions more recently, I think he figures that's not a spot on his record he'd like to see.
Do you believe that the allegations made against the president in the Mueller report were impeachable offenses?
No, I never thought that the Mueller report would produce that. But the president did certainly attempt to abuse his office by asking the White House counsel, for example, to fire the Attorney General. I think he was saved from abuse of power by the failure of people under him to carry out his orders. But for whatever reason, I don't think that rose to the level of impeachment. And I hope, frankly, that he's not impeached. I would rather see him defeated in the next election.
Given your disdain for the current administration, could you see yourself voting for a Democrat in 2020 over the current president, assuming he's the Republican nominee?
Yes. I expect that will probably be the case. My preference would be for another Republican to be nominated. And I'm a conservative. I'm far more conservative than any of the Democrats running. But I can't vote for this president. I want to vote for a Democrat who wants to appeal to a broad electorate. Somebody not on the far left, but somebody who can appeal broadly. And I think it's pretty plain who they are, those who see the need to work with Republicans and want to return to a time when bipartisanship was the norm and when compromise was the norm.
What advice would you give to an aspiring politician or a young person in America?
One, read broadly. Change the channel. Get out of your news feed. Realize that not everybody shares the opinion that you have. And be well-rounded. Don't get in an echo chamber and stay there. And also, be careful how you interact online. It's good to have a forceful opinion, even if you change your mind later. That's not a problem. Every politician should change their mind when the facts present themselves or circumstances change. But if you act in a way that is indicative of what we're seeing today, if you're crude or vulgar, then that could be a black mark against you later on when we return to ourselves and we say, we need to act better.